get started. So we're just going to review very quickly how we get at the site and enter the data, and then I'll certainly take as many questions as you have. And I do expect later, just so you know, you all have my contact information. If there's questions that come up as you're entering things or doing things, we do expect you to have some that we just didn't think of today, and we'll get into those when you're ready. So the site is the facility issues site, and I'm just on the Museums and Cultural Institutions page here. And you would log in over here. You can enter your login information. If you don't have that, or if you lose it, just contact me and I will get you that information. And then what that does is that gives you some additional menu items over here on the left. So we're going to cover those in a minute. I just want to remind folks that if you do want to replay this, if you go here to the benchmarking schedule, when we're completed, I'll put the recording on this page so you can listen to the recording again if there's a question that you had, or if you need to share it with somebody else in your organization. So when you log in, we'll come over and the cost survey forms. This is the main page, and this will have the links to all the survey pages that we're going to have information on. So you would go to my survey, and it will just start taking you through section by section. Now you can jump ahead, you can fill out pieces as you have information. As you fill things out, and I'm going to start and talk about this page in particular, you will get a little green check mark with anything that's been completed, so you can see where your progress is. Can you bear with me just a second here? I have somebody that can't get into the session. They're calling me. Some of these sections, they are expandable, collapsible with the little plus sign. And as you fill one out, it will give you a little check mark that says it's been completed. And as soon as you get the green check, it will in fact be saved. So if you come back here later, like right now, that has no value in here. So if we're going to enter the year in here, as soon as I enter that and move out of the field, it will give me a check mark that tells me when the data has been saved. The first section is very important. It's got the units of measure, which whether you're putting in English units or metric, what currencies you're putting in. There's some general demographics about the type of site and climate zone you're in for your properties. And the type of museum, because we do run a couple different reports that separate out the types of museum and look at some of those metrics. Okay, so I don't know why that didn't take. And give me the little green check. It doesn't like something, and it will tell me that there's an error saving the data when I have that case. Now, the other factor on all these questions is we have this little information button. If you hover over it, it will give you some more information about what the question is looking for. And I'm going to move over to the space one because this is some of the longer. So, for example, if you're not sure about what should be included in gross area, there is information in this that explains what should be included in there. And as some of you are doing this for the first time and you want to get this information ahead of time and maybe collect it and fill it out, what we have up here is a printable version of it. So if you click on this link here, it will give you, open this page that gives you a printable version, and it includes what's in the question marks or in the information buttons. And I am not sure why that is not giving us the whole, there we go. It's loading the whole thing. So all these notes here are the things that are in those hover buttons that have the additional information about them. So you can print this and have it as a reference, and you can collect your data and enter it into this page, and then come back and enter it into the web page. Now, for those of you who are entering data maybe for the first time, but for an organization that's been involved before, we do preload the data from last year, so that if your size of your institution didn't change or things like that, the information's already in the system, and all you have to do is proof it or edit things that have changed. So that's why you're seeing some numbers in here. These were entered as a test case in in prior years. So let me just try one of these other fields and make sure that we're not having a problem here with the website saving the data. It wants one decimal. And there we go. You see the little green check mark. It shows that it saved that value, and I can log out or close the window and come back, and that value will be still be in there. So I do know we have a couple folks from smaller institutions on the second section here of the survey. This is really the only section you need to complete for this smaller institution survey. You certainly can complete any of the other sections, but you'll see there's abbreviated number of questions. We have 4 on background, just the 1 on the size, just 2 on janitorial, 2 on the maintenance. This is an option on all these that if you do not include security, say every section has this option at the top that I can say, geez, this doesn't apply to us, and you won't see those questions anymore, and they won't be considered to be uncompleted questions for you. And utilities, we got 4 there. So if you're doing the small institution survey, you can just complete that one section, and you can ignore all the others, or you can go in and complete others as you wish if you wish to see your information compared to others in other fields. Okay. If you're partway through or you're most of the way through and you say, geez, I missed something, but I don't know what it is, we come over here to this unfinished fields. You can click that, and it will tell you what section numbers and questions you're still missing information for that you did not click on that, does not apply to me box here. Okay. Any questions on that piece and how this little interface works? Okay, that's really all the prepared information I had in terms of how you can get in here to. Oh, I do want to cover one other thing just to let you know. So when you're logged in and you want to actually get to the report, if you go under, and once you're logged in under the survey where it says members only, this is where you'll be able to download copies of the report as they're published here. We will, starting in May, we will start putting draft versions of the report so you can check on your information and your progress and see how that's doing. And you would find a report that you wanted to download. You hit the little green button to download it. The information button's on here, but most of them don't have descriptions because the title of the link describes what the actual document is. So this is where you would find the information, and we do provide it both as the Excel spreadsheet and a PDF document, whichever version is easier for you to look at. You can use that version of it as you're going forward. So with that, I guess I'd like to take any questions that folks have about information that goes in, or if there's a question about how to use this. And I'll go back to this page because one of the questions that comes up is typically about schedule, and that's right here on the side here are the key dates for this year's cycle. And as I said, starting in May, at the end of May, we'll start to put progress reports on the site here that you can check on your progress. And obviously, I'll be checking those if there's something that you entered, say, that looks like it's really out of whack in terms of the value. Then we might have too many decimals or not enough, or it doesn't seem right. I'll probably be giving you a call just to understand it. It may be correct, but if it's something that looks like that we need to chat about it, I'll be looking at that kind of stuff just for some general quality assurance.